What's up, folks? You know who it is. It's your boy, John Mike. Uh, and I wanted to I've been promising to do it. A lot of people been hitting me up about doing it. I've been promising, and I'm just now getting an opportunity to sit down and do it. But I've been promising to do a post review of the Nektar Impact 61 after owning it for a year. What my thoughts of it are and how I feel about it and its usability and is it really worth the buy and all of that good stuff like that. First, I would like to comment by saying that this is probably one of the most used boards that I have. And I mean in terms of like I use it more probably than any board I've had over the years. I've gotten a lot of use out of it. I use it pretty much every time I'm doing production on something. Um, and I'm always doing a lot of production. So this keyboard gets used pretty much every day, all day. Um, you know, I've gotten a couple of other controllers that I use and different things, and you've seen some of my other reviews and stuff. But uh, this one has probably gotten the most use both here in the studio and also live at church. What I love about it is the portability of it. This thing is like just so freaking light that it travels very easily. Travels very easily, very light, very compact. Has a ton of just knobs and faders and everything I could need for mapping or controlling stuff. I don't really use it for control here in the studio. It's just for really playing stuff out here in the studio. But when I use it live, all of these knobs and faders and everything pretty much get used because I'm using it for controlling sounds and layers and different things like that. When I use it live, I typically only use it live occasionally. I use it more here in the studio. It stays more in the studio. Uh, Now than it does actually at church or out gigging. Now, if I have to do a small gig or something where it's just like one of those things where I'm just running in, playing a couple songs or doing something like that, little small set, I'm taking this with me as opposed to taking my full rig or what have you. This is like if I'm going to play at a wedding or funeral or, whatever, this is coming with me and I'm using this or what have you. There have been a lot of times I've used it at church on Sunday as for mains for everything, but most of the time when I use it at church, I'm using it as an auxiliary board, which means I'm running certain sounds and stuff, only certain sounds on a key bass, maybe some leads, some strings, things like that. I'm running on this board. It does very well with that type of stuff. The controls on it are awesome and amazing. Um, I have no complaints whatsoever about the usability of this board. If I was to highlight any cons of the board, it would just simply be the keys. They're synth action, so it's not. Well, it's kind of yeah. It's really synth action. There's synth action, so it's not like so it's not really semi-weighted. It's more synth action. Uh, it's cool. Um, I would prefer. I really now prefer weighted when it comes to piano. If you're playing piano stuff, semi-weighted synth action really doesn't give you um, that feel that you need for piano stuff. I've used it a ton to play piano stuff. Don't get me wrong. So you can do piano stuff with it, but it's not my first choice. And as you can notice, if you probably hear, maybe if I turn the sound down, the keys are very noisy, very clacky. They're very clacky, very noisy. Those are some cons. Very clacky, very noisy. Not idea. And if you guys, I've seen a lot of complaints on my videos that I've used and where I've used this keyboards. And a lot of people say, oh, those keys are very loud. So if you're looking to get this and you're going to be doing some video recording, this isn't the ideal board to use for that, for doing video demos, because it's, or in a setting where it's going to be quiet, you know, because that's very noisy, very clacky. That is one con to it. The next con with the feel is the velocity curve of this board. And you can edit it, and I even talked about it in my last video when I talked about this particular keyboard. But you can, the velocity curve on this is very, very sharp. So you don't really get even dynamics when you're playing on piano stuff. That's why I say it's not as great for piano. If you're doing a lot of piano tracks, uh, you know, synth stuff, key bass. This is really for your auxiliary kind of instruments, in my opinion. It's just my perspective. You can take it however you want. Because when you're getting piano stuff, when you're really doing piano, it's not going to really give you, because of the velocity curve of the board and the keys, it's not going to really give you those even dynamics. See, I can, when I kind of go up and, you know, I can hit these white keys with the same velocity going up. But the B flat is kind of maybe hard to hear, but that this B flat that I'm hitting is hitting at a different velocity kind of than the white keys. So I can use the same kind of force coming down with a run, but get different velocity, get different dynamics. Even though I'm playing with the same intensity, I'm not playing any harder coming down. I'm just playing, but I get different dynamics, different volume levels, if you don't understand dynamics, in the keys as I'm coming down because of the velocity curve of the board. Even though I'm using the same intensity and playing, some notes are playing louder than others. So you don't get that dynamic control um, on this board. Those are some cons to it. But that would be my only complaints about this board. Again, I still use this keyboard on a daily basis um, for recording and tracking, mainly because of its form factor and the way I have my studio set up. Everything kind of flows right in this area, in this whole little space, and I'm sitting in front of my mix board and my computer, and it just sits snug right there in front of my computer and my keyboard and my workstation. And so it's right here at any given moment. So when I need to kind of track something out or bang something out, I go with this and play with this, particular keyboard or what have you. So very, very good keyboard. I would give it maybe a 7 out of 10 approval rating, and with the con being the keys, the feel of the keys, and the uneven dynamics and the clackiness of them. Those are some points that I would take off for that. But control wise, if you're looking for something um, that that's inexpensive, you don't have to break the bank for, and if you're looking for something that's you know, got a lot of control options, whether you want to use it for controlling your software in the studio for recording, because you got transport controls, you got knobs, you got faders, you got pads for banging out beats, you got all your controls right there. It's very, 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 very like +1 on the control side of things. Like, it gives you more than enough. Or if you're using something, looking for something that you can use live, that gives you that portability lightweight, very small, uh, but gives you all of the control knobs and everything you need, then this is going to be the perfect board for you. If you're looking for a good auxiliary board to run software sounds from your keyboard, from your computer, um, this is a great board, a great buy as well. So those are my recommendations. Hope it blesses you guys. Hope it helps you. Again, as I always say, please subscribe, hit that like button. It helps me keep this channel going, helps me keep this content flowing to you guys whenever you can subscribe and